now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. Several inches of rain in the Crossroads is filling up ditches. We'll have a look at what to expect tonight.
A late night fire destroys a family's home in DeWitt County.
And a measles outbreak in Kansas more than doubles over the past week.
We've had almost 4 inches of rain in most areas around the Crossroads, but another 2 or 3 are possible tonight, so the flood situation is still with us. We'll talk about that coming up in a moment.
Another big signing happened yesterday here in the Crossroads. Find out who that is coming up. Report.
25 News now at 6.
This is breaking news from 25 News Now.
Breaking news tonight, a Texas board denies parole for Yolanda Saldivar, who is convicted of killing Tejano music icon Selena in 1995. Saldivar, who was the president of Selena's fan club, fatally shot the 23-year-old superstar. She was taken into custody after a 10-hour standoff with police and was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole in 30 years. This was the first time Saldivar was up for parole. The district attorney who prosecuted the case said granting Saldivar parole would be a mistake.
We had a short break from the rain, but should be starting up again this evening. Much needed rain for the Crossroads, but it's also a lot at one time.
That's for sure. So let's go to Mac Bettis with a first look at the forecast. Mac, how concerned should we be about flooding?
Well, I think we're actually getting into a higher flood situation now that we've had all this rain. So at first it comes awful fast, but now we're soaked. We are looking at fairly full rivers and streams, and so tomorrow morning early we may have a flood problem. Now, while we are getting a little bit of a break, it's not over with. Right now the valley is getting really pounded by a very heavy thunderstorms, and all this stuff you see right here, these little pop-ups, all this area is going to move toward us. So it'll be here after midnight and through most of the early part of Friday. Then after that, it is going to start pulling out of here, and the weekend, we'll be talking about that a little bit later on. 25 News Now weekend anchor Amaya Norman is live in Seadrift, and she can give us an update of what the heavy rain's done there. Anaya?
Yes, we're keeping an eye out on weather tonight as additional thunderstorms roll through Calhoun County. We can also at least expect at least about 2 to 3 inches of rain. As you can see, I'm stepping in this pond or this puddle right here on the road. And also, if you are driving, please be careful because there are going to be a lot of ponds in the road. So please drive safe. Slow down, turn your headlights on, and watch for standing water. While the rain may cause some slick conditions, it's also a much needed blessing for the area. But stay safe, and we'll keep you updated as the weather comes through. Reporting live from Calhoun County, Amaya Norman, KABU TV, 25 News Now. Shawna and Dawn, back to you.
Amaya, thank you. And now to our viewer poll for today. Here's the question. How has your experience been with all this rain so far? The choices are: I have some flooding, I have some rain damage, I'm enjoying it so far. 96% of our voters loving all this rain. They are enjoying it so far. Maybe there's more to enjoy. Stand by for more Mac later. Hey, go to crossroadstoday.com to let us know, and we'll have the latest numbers on 25 News Now at 10.
Candidates for Seadrift's upcoming council race are meeting with residents tonight. A candidate meet and greet just got underway at 501 South Main Street in Seadrift. On May 3rd, voters there will decide among 5 candidates who are running for city council seats. Residents must register or update their address by April 3rd to be eligible to vote in the election. A second meet and greet is scheduled for April 12th at 4 p.m. at the same location. Now, Amaya is down there in Seadrift, and she is going to be attending that meet and greet with the candidates as well, and we'll have a report on 25 News Now at 10. Well, the first rabies positive skunk has been confirmed in southern Victoria County. Animal Services picked up the skunk Monday near a home on Burkhart Road, and testing confirmed it was positive for rabies. No human or pet exposures have been reported. This is the first confirmed case ever in this area of Victoria County. Officials urge residents to keep pets' rabies shots up to date and report any unusual wildlife behavior to Victoria County Animal Services.
A family plans to rebuild after fire destroyed their Cuero home. Our partners at the Cuero Record report Dr. David Hill and his family escaped from their burning home barefoot and disoriented this weekend. Despite firefighter efforts, the home burned down in the night. Firefighters from 4 DeWitt County fire departments battled the blaze. They were forced to stop operations temporarily. An incoming storm with heavy lightning and strong winds became too dangerous. No one was hurt. The Hills are staying in a hotel room and plan to rebuild their home.
A group of news organizations asked a Texas appeals court in San Antonio today to release school and county records from law enforcement's response to the 2022 Robb Elementary School shooting in Uvalde. In July 2024, a district court judge ordered Uvalde CISD and the Uvalde County Sheriff's Office to release their records. The city of Uvalde released some records last August, followed by more videos 2 months later. But the Texas Department of Public Safety is still fighting the release of its records.
The multi-state measles outbreak is growing. 23 cases have been reported in Kansas. That state's health department reports of those cases, 20 are people who are unvaccinated. The ongoing outbreak has infected nearly 400 people also in Texas, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. Kansas health officials suspect their cases are possibly linked to those in Texas and New Mexico. At least one person has died, a school-aged child in Texas with no underlying conditions and not vaccinated. Today marks a very important event in the fight for Texas independence, and it happened in Goliad. On this day in 1836, on a Palm Sunday, at least 342 Texans under the command of James Fannin were executed by Mexican soldiers in the Goliad massacre. Their deaths became a rallying cry in the fight for Texas independence. This weekend, Presidio La Bahia in Goliad will host its 39th annual Living History program. Saturday events will include the reenactment of the Battle of Coleto Creek. On Sunday, there will be a reenactment of the Goliad massacre.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick says he will move to force an overtime session of the legislature if lawmakers fail to ban THC or tighten Texas's bail laws, two of his top priorities, before the current session ends in early June. To read the full Texas Tribune article, go to crossroadstoday.com. And remember to subscribe to the Crossroads Today YouTube channel, hit the like button, and click the notification bell to receive alerts. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, a suspect is in custody after several Teslas are vandalized in East Texas.
Also ahead, President Trump makes a surprise move with one of the top people he picked for his cabinet.
Get ready for the madness. Think you know college hoops? Prove it. Enter the Final Four Frenzy presented by Coastal Bend College. Put your bracket up against sports director Max Williams and weekend sports reporter Ray Robinson. Dribble on over to crossroadstoday.com to enter on the contest page. Win it all and score a family 4-pack with a hotel stay and a round of golf for 2 at Moody Gardens in Galveston. The Final Four Frenzy presented by Coastal Bend College. Brackets lock soon. Enter now.
A man was arrested in Texarkana after he is accused of ramming multiple Tesla vehicles in separate incidents across that city. Police say it happened in 3 different places. The first captured a guy on a mini 4-wheeler intentionally ramming a parked Tesla at full speed. While police were searching for the man, another call came in for damage to a Tesla in a parking lot. Police arrested 33-year-old DeMarcon Cox. So far, he is charged with 1 count of felony criminal mischief and failure to identify. Las Vegas police arrested a man who reportedly set fire to a Tesla service center last week. 36-year-old Paul Kim was arrested on multiple charges, including arson, destruction of property, and possession of an explosive device. Police say Kim set fires with Molotov cocktails. At least 5 vehicles were damaged in the incident, which police are calling a, quote, targeted attack, unquote. Kim was scheduled to appear in court today.
President Trump has pulled Representative Elise Stefanik's name from consideration for the next U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. He cited concerns over the GOP's slim majority in the House of Representatives. And in a social media post, Trump asked Stefanik to remain in Congress. It's unclear what role she'll take in House leadership going forward. Stefanik, who was previously the chair of the House Republican Conference, was the highest-ranking GOP woman on Capitol Hill. Senate Republicans had expected her confirmation to be a smooth one.
A Minnesota quintuplet, born weighing only 8 ounces. It's considered the second smallest baby ever.
Well, now after a year in the hospital, he finally goes home. Yube Ali shares his story of resilience and care.
Hi, Bilal. Are you going home today?
When you look at Bilal, you see a baby with an oxygen mask.
Are your brothers and sisters coming today?
What you don't see is his struggle to survive. To truly understand the miracle of Bilal, we have to go back in time to a year ago.
It's an extraordinarily rare phenomenon.
The quintuplets, born at 23 weeks, was more than just rare. It made their survival unlikely. The biggest weighing in at just a pound, the tiniest, Bilal, at 8 ounces.
Second smallest baby in the world, described in this tiniest baby registry.
For the team at Children's Minnesota, Bilal's case was historic. Dr. Thomas George, the medical director of neonatology, says the odds of all 5 surviving was around 10%.
The kids overcame extraordinary odds.
You can see in these photos just how tiny he was, hooked up to machines in the NICU.
I didn't think he was going to make it. We were living by the hour, and by the grace of God, he is here.
For years, Hawa Muhammad dreamed of being a mother.
I was always hopeful I'd be a mom. God finally gave me 5.
Her miracle babies now finally all together under one roof. As she takes the last baby home exactly a year to the day after she welcomed them into the world.
All praise to God. I'm very happy today because my children and I are healthy and going home.
And the team that helped them beat the odds.
All the staff here helped me a lot. They were there for me and helped me raise my children.
So sweet and tiny.
Are helping them celebrate their incredible journey and birthday.
Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Our high today was only 70 because of the rainfall. 64 was our morning low, but we've had 1.84 of rainfall today since midnight, and that is a record. We had a record yesterday, so you add it all up together, we've had about a good 4 inches of rain around the area. Coming up, we'll be talking about how much more we expect tonight and then what the weekend looks like coming up after this. Well, the red flag warning is still up because tomorrow morning, no, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Red flag warnings for fire. This is the alert flag is flying because we still have more rain coming in. And with what we had already, and you saw Amaya down there in Seadrift, everything's pretty soggy out there. So tonight and Friday, all counties will look for 3, maybe 4 more inches of rainfall with a couple of thunderstorms with a little lightning possible. Let me show you why we're talking about that. Now, obviously, we had that nice little break during the day, but you see where we are, and you see this cluster right here. This is the one that's coming in within about an hour. It should start raining at your house right about there, okay? Then we pull out a little bit wider. You can see much heavier storms are occurring deep South Texas, so south of Corpus Christi, they're really getting piled on with big storms. And then you see all this instability. You saw the little bumpy stuff. Those are individual thunderstorms, or they call it discrete, and that's going to be rolling over our area tonight. So between now and midnight, I expect some thunder showers. They'll continue through the night, and tomorrow morning is going to be tricky. Those of you who have to get up early, do watch out for low water crossings, those of you who live out in the county, because we expect additional rainfall, and that's going to cause some fairly quick flooding. Here you see these cluster of storms over northern Mexico. This is all part of the system, and you can almost see the circulation right about here. You see right there? The front of it is where it lifts the air. That's why we're getting all this rain in our area of the woods, and all that has to cross over the crossroads by tomorrow evening. It should start pulling away. So it's not over with just yet. It's a blessing rain. You know, the last time we had this kind of rainfall was last July. And I don't even think that Hurricane or Tropical Storm Beryl even did that much rainfall. So it's been a real blessing. So the interesting thing is that even though we're getting all this rainfall, it's not associated with a tropical storm or even a frontal system, but we do look at a frontal system out here, which will actually be here on Monday, I believe, and that's going to actually stabilize the atmosphere a little bit with some drier air. So as you can see, we continue with the flash flood watches all over this area, and of course down the valley where they're getting the really heavy stuff right now. It's a little bit more complicated, I should say. Flash flood watches, that'll continue all the way through Friday evening, and then after that things will start settling down. Now here is the interesting deal. This is the Severe Storms Lab in Oklahoma. They've got a marginal risk, which is along the immediate coastline right here for severe thunderstorms. So that is, you know, we get rain, we get wet, we get a shower. That's one level of wetness. Then the storms build tall, they go up into the cold atmosphere, and they come down with hail. That's a severe thunderstorm, and that's what we may have 1 or 2 rolling around in this area on Friday. So then we look at your day planner. For those of you down in Port Lavaca, we're looking for thunder showers overnight and through the morning. And then by late in the evening, you can see right here, we go partly cloudy. So the day is going to be kind of a toss-out, but you're not going to get much done with all this wetness. And then we look at Cuero, same thing, thunderstorms during the day and then clearing up by late in the evening. So on Saturday, things are looking pretty good, as a matter of fact. There's the alert flag because of the additional shower activity and potential flooding. Saturday's looking real good, back to the mid-80s. Little frontal system actually only brings us drier air and keeps us with sunny skies and temperatures in the 80s as well. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Shawna.
All right, well, it is Thursday, so that means Max Williams is joining us now to highlight another local athlete.
That's right, Shawna. Even though, again, there's a lot of rain here in the forecast, it does not stop us from revealing who will be tonight's Athlete of the Week. I'll tell you who that is, and got some news for you out of Luis. I'll tell you all that coming up in sports. All right, Cross, we had some breaking news earlier today, just about an hour ago. Luis AD and head coach there was informed there, Manny Freeland, that he will be resigning from the school district. This came after the school district mentioned he was going to be reassigned there from the school district, and then he said he wanted to resign from the school district because he was not getting the quality things that he wanted to. So again, therefore, Luis, that job is now open for the search. Now, going over to here for tonight's Athlete of the Week, we're handing it to Victoria West boys powerlifter Brody Flores. Here's more for our Athlete of the Week.
Go, 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 go,
This week's Athlete of the Week, we're staying in the powerlifting area, just like last week's Victoria West boys powerlifter Brody Flores. Flores broke the back squat and bench records at state and helped West finish second place in the entire state of Texas. With all these accolades, Brody mentioned that his favorite was squat and tells us why that's the case.
I think it is because going into the meet, that's when you have the most, I guess for me it's the most energy going into it, because all the anticipation, all the preparation, you know, you feel it going into your first lift, and I feel like that's where I get the most adrenaline.
With Flores feeling pumped about performing high at back squat and bench, he also enjoys doing powerlifting because of the different people he's met along the way and the competitive nature of the sport.
I love the competitiveness and the people. You know, you meet a whole bunch of people at the meets, you meet a whole bunch of great personalities, you know, getting to know them and then getting to know some of the judges, you know, it's a great community.
Flores doesn't just do powerlifting, he also was running back this past season for West, which made a deep playoff run last year. Flores talks about how doing powerlifting for him translated to the football field.
Really keeping a stable set of mind, because in powerlifting, it's more of a single person based sport. So whenever you're down on yourself and you make a mistake, you really gotta hone in on how are you gonna deal with it on your own.
With his passion for both football and powerlifting, Brody will be heading into his senior season. Already has some goals set for next year.
State championship. But yes, sir, it's also to come back and break my own records.
This year in total for Brody was already a record-breaking one, breaking the squat and bench records and going far in the football playoffs last year. Can't wait to watch Brody more next year, and congrats for being this week's Athlete of the Week.
All right, congrats to Brody for being this week's Athlete of the Week. But now we're going over to our weekly fishing report. And again, probably not recommending that you go fishing right now because of all the thunderstorms, everything that's happening. But for this weekend, though, again, here's what you should look out for, though. We're going to check around Coleto Creek first. I saw the water temperature is good right now, again, for freshwater. Again, fishing patterns a little bit similar this week in the water temperature. If you want to catch bass at Coleto Creek, if you want to get off soft plastic lizards or crawl worms are the best way to get them in about 2 to 7 feet of water area. But over to the saltwater area, East Matagorda Bay, again, was good last week, but this week it's a little bit slow with the waters. Again, it's currently at 70 degrees. Better tide schedule and rain will improve the bite they're going throughout the weekend. And again, if you want to get redfish and trout are good as well around East Matagorda Bay. For Port O'Connor, big black drum can be caught inside the jetties area, about 20-30 feet of water. Again, with blue crab, and also if you want to get some bull redfish, again, you can also get that. It can be caught between Bird Island and the back of the jetties on blue crab. And now over to another big signing that happened yesterday here in the Crossroads. Victoria East football star Braylon Vasquez signed to Bethel College up there in Kansas. And I'm familiar with that school because Bethel was in the same conference I played against when I played football in Avila University. So I know how Bethel is. It's a good school to go to. And last season there for Vasquez, he had 19 total receptions, 216 total yards, and 3 touchdowns. So wish Vasquez luck, and hopefully he does not beat my former team there in the process, hopefully. Well, you never know. We'll see going the rest of the way. But some other news, too, as well. The Astros got win opening day with Cam Smith getting a big-time hit in his MLB debut. They won 3-1, and the Texas Rangers lost to the Boston Red Sox 5-2. That's going to do it here in sports. Don and Shawna, back to you.
Max, thank you, and we're back in a moment. One of the greatest singers in the rock era makes a major announcement.
FM radio.
And finally tonight, singer Johnny Mathis is retiring from touring and live performances. A social media statement said it's because of the 89-year-old's age and declining memory. His last show is May 18th. The native of Gilmer in East Texas kicked off his long career in 1955. He released a whopping 79 studio albums and landed 34 songs in the Hot 100. His first greatest hits album spent 490 consecutive weeks, nearly 9.5 years on the Billboard album charts. Among his many memorable songs are Chances Are and It's Not For Me to Say. What the greatest voices ever.
89 years old, and he's still out there touring.
One more concert to go.
It must be the water in East Texas. There's actually a lot of big artists that came out of there, you know.
Oh, yeah. Don Henley, I believe, came from that area. Yes.
So it's pretty.
And I'm wondering, you know, with all the rain that we've had, are the farmers singing that song like Johnny sang, too much, too little, too late?
Well, I hope not. I think it's good. The farmers that had the seed in the ground are going to be dancing for joy, okay? Because this is going to be a good season now. The ones who hadn't planted, boy, they're going to have a busy couple of weeks coming up, because now everything's looking really good. 4 inches of rain is $1 million opportunity for our local farmers. So we're excited that we got the rain. We didn't have any significant problems. We were going to get more thunder showers tonight. That's why the alert flag is up, because we may have a little flooding overnight and into tomorrow morning. So do watch out for low water crossings, creeks and streams that may be filling rapidly. And if you hear, thunder and lightning, bring it on inside, and don't be out there risking anything, okay? Otherwise, we're looking better for the weekend.
Peak rain tonight after sundown or before morning?
I believe before morning, somewhere midnight to 6 o'clock. There's a whole lot of stuff still coming at us from the south, and we're going to be just waiting for it.
All right, thank you, Mac. And thanks for joining us. And we also want to leave you with a look at the students from Faith Family Church Homeschool. About 15 students stopped by for a field trip, and a few mentioned they plan to pursue journalism as a career. Good luck, young people. Thanks for coming over here, and thanks for visiting.